Hello, and welcome to Therapy of the Absurd, episode 58. How is everybody doing?
Fantastic. How about you? How are you doing?
Doing good. It's almost Friday, so fan-fucking-tastic.
Right?
It's almost Friday!
Grateful for that.
Yes.
62 degrees tomorrow. That's what my phone just flashed and told me.
Nice.
It tells me the weather, even I don't ask.
I know. It's gonna be 86 tomorrow.
It's gonna be.
How are you doing, Dan?
Well, I'm doing okay. I found out some interesting news this week. Did you know that all over the world penis sizes are shrinking?
Oh Lord.
Yeah, you know what that means, though, right? That I'm ahead of my time.
I don't know what it means, and I don't care.
I'm ahead of my time.
Oh,
that's what it means. Is I am ahead of my
It
time.
means you have a shrinking penis. Is that what you're saying?
Every time I watch Golden Girls, especially
Oh,
now.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
how you doing, Calvin? How you doing?
In this bitch.
Right.
That's right.
I like
Calvin. That was pretty aggressive for being in here.
He's got some energy. He's happy to be here.
Right.
Went and saw the new Batman. Pretty packed in there.
Okay, so I was leaving Flappers last night, and I was coming down, and when you what is it? You're getting down Barham, about to turn on to Cahuenga. Like right there's a big bat, and I'm just like, Hollywood, y'all not sick of Batman? Like, because this is what I just want to say. I feel like after Christian Bale and The Dark fucking Knight, y'all should have retired that shit. Like,
that's Christian.
Wait, after that, I
don't. It ain't nothing. I don't care who. I don't care who comes along. I don't care.
I'm just surprised they didn't.
What the fuck Christian Bale did.
I'm just surprised they didn't I'm just surprised they didn't finish. I'm just surprised they finished after the nipples.
Nobody can hear me. Is that what happened?
Oh no,
I'm just saying. Let me finish. No, but okay. Like that's you back. That's right. I don't like people to talk across me. I'm just saying. I think what Christian Bale did is the shit. Like, and I mean, like a moment of silence. What Christian Bale did, and for them to keep. Because here's the thing. I got it. Like at first, you kind of want to update it for the time. Then, after y'all misstep, like I went and saw the George Clooney one at the theater, but I'm just saying, like, right. But George Clooney was a star at the time. But here's the thing. Christian Bale's Batman made him a star. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And to me, you can't top this energy other than what Joaquin Phoenix did with the Joker. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can't, that's just me. I don't know.
Wait, the Dark Knight Joker was
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. There you go.
But what I'm saying, so my point is Heath Ledger's not living. The only other good like out of that franchise was obviously you couldn't. So because here's the thing, we all know if Heath Ledger had done a Joker movie, that shit would have been so far off the chain. So I'm just saying that Joaquin Phoenix was a fantastic.
Oh no, yeah.
A fantastic heir to the Joker throne. And all I'm saying is if you're going to keep doing this, don't keep doing Batman because you did that. I mean, and when I say you did that, like you did that. So I don't know. Anyway, so
what are we going to say, Dan?
What are you going to say, Dan?
Well, I was just going to say I'm surprised it didn't end it after they put nipples on Batman. Fuck that.
Or his accentuated ass cheeks and shit.
Well, it's just after they didn't let or after what's his name wasn't involved, Tim Burton. It's done. No more Tim Burton. Finish that one. But I did like Christian Bale. I even like the third one, which I heard a lot of shit talking about, and I even know like the plot hole from the first one.
Right.
Like the big plot hole in the first one, right? With Christian Bale. Okay, like they have this weapon that's going to instantly vaporize all the water in the city and make things blow up. What are people over 75% of?
Water.
No one's blowing up in that shit on that movie. Like nobody in Gotham's just like, oh, my tummy's a rumbly. Like didn't happen at all. But good movie. I like that movie. Yeah. I also like Bane. I love talking like Bane. I've come here to bring you some salad and a nice little fork and some shrimps. You're going to eat them with me until I bear hug you.
No, I the director too, man. Christopher Nolan, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. Like, oh my gosh, Christopher Nolan. Like that's the other thing. Like that's like I'm like, why?
Calvin said, "I'll put nipples on anything."
No, yeah.
Calvin Dyer. Okay,
Calvin Klein.
so whose friend is Calvin? I'm not.
He's all our friend.
That's one of my.
Wait, I think.
Hey, Calvin. I feel like
Hi,
I've not met
Calvin.
you.
Well, he's I think I see a
Calvin's
stand-up comedian in his picture there, so I know that.
No, yeah, he does stand-up comedy.
Yes,
he does.
Okay, I'm from the moon, but I've never been.
Calvin, how's it going?
Okay, X Clan. Okay, come on with the X Clan because that's what I partied to in college. Just like when we went through the hip hop era, like when it was ruled by the 5%ers, and when Tribe Called Quest, there was a group called X Clan. Like at the at the height of public, when we had Hey Queen, Hey King, then yeah, I probably partied to X Clan. Like you brought it. Actually, Calvin, you brought it back.
Well, you did mention there's only one Joker, Ledger, but actually my favorite Joker of all time, and I'm saying Ledger's great, and Jack Nicholson obviously great. Mark Hamill.
Oh, the voice of Joker. Okay.
Hiya, Batman. I love Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
yes, he did the cartoon, but also the video game, which is a rather dark take on the cartoon, where you have the Joker die. Now, here's the whole funny thing about this. In the second game, Joker dies. Sorry, spoiler alert. Just play the game. It's still good. Bro. But at the end of the game, I know it's old. Arkham City is old. But at the end of the game, they make you watch the credits while listening to him sing to Batman after he's dead. Only you can make this world insane. And it's awesome. Like, you're like, Joker's dead. No, he's really good. You got to check out the
Mark Hamill is awesome.
Mark Hamill was like the best cartoon voice too. He did it when they introduced him in the Batman series, which is hard to watch now. You look at the animation, you're like, oh my retinas, but really good.
Well, and also like, and I love Mark Hamill, but I can't put a voice over opportunity because I love Mark Hamill, like up against the real folks, up against the live action, not real, but not like that.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is you didn't know it was Mark Hamill when I was a kid, and then you find out you're like, oh my god, that was the scariest Joker voice. Like he's the Pennywise of Jokers, I would say. And I mean when I say the Pennywise of Jokers, I mean the what's his name, Tim Curry version. Pennywise of Jokers.
Okay. But no, it was a good movie. It was 2 hours 56 minutes. So that plus trailers.
That's a long time to be in the theater.
Yeah, I had to go to the bathroom and I had to hold it for like a good hour. So that kind of sucks.
I don't even know.
I was like,
I haven't actually heard much about this movie coming out. So this is the one with who's Batman in this one again? Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Okay,
the Twilight guy.
Yeah, well, you know what? He was great in The Lighthouse, even though that's a weird movie.
No, yeah,
he was good in it. Like,
he has a couple indie movies. I think one called Rover, I believe it's called, which was an Australian American flick, and then he had some other ones. I mean, he can act. I've seen stuff. He can act.
Like it looks like it's got a lot of possibility, and all these people certainly grew up. Because I still remember when the Twilight movies came out. Like, what a phenomenon! This woman wrote these books, and then these films came out, and it just created a whole set of superstars very quickly. You know what I'm saying? Because there was such a following to the books, and then
those were movies that I really didn't want to go to.
But I never saw any of them. I couldn't tell you nothing about it.
You get forced into movies like that for other reasons when you're dating or with someone.
I was gonna say that sounds like a date issue. Like by that time, I was just good and grown. Like this is my choice. This is not my choice.
We're going to see Twilight, right? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Like, whatever you want to do, baby. Whatever you want to do.
I was well into like these are not my stars.
No. My vampires, suck blood and are crazy, like Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise type shit,
Sorry. Hats off to what Dan said about Jack Nicholson. I still think I agree with Calvin over here. Heath Ledger is our best Joker.
Yeah.
I think that Heath Ledger was extremely, innovative in his take. And the licking of the lips. That was just a natural reaction to that makeup. He hated it.
Prosthetic, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He rocked.
Sure, he didn't have cotton mouth. He wasn't thirsty.
He just rocked. He rocked. He rocked. No. Just that's all I can say. God rest his soul.
Yeah.
So good.
Ooh,
Jack Nicholson's like.
I believe.
Jack Nicholson's in the corner. Assholes never die. Anyway. Have you seen those shirts, by the way? Everywhere. Assholes never die. It's like a new I'm badass clothing line that says assholes never die on the back.
Oh, wow.
I'm not familiar at all.
Oh, yeah. Then good for you guys. I've seen it too much.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Assholes never die. I don't know. There are some assholes you wish would die, though, right?
Right. Calvin says Ledger was an astral spirit, can't be duplicated. Facts.
Oh,
right.
no. Yes, I agree with that 100%. That performance for Joker was crazy. I don't want to spoil anything in the new one. All I'm saying is make sure you don't drink too many liquids before going to see the new one. And if you have kids and you got to see it and you got to take your kids, I wish you luck.
I'm so grateful. I need to I want to catch I'm still shameful. I haven't seen the Spider-Man. I need to see that.
Oh, that was good. Ooh, that was good. That was really good.
So, wait, the new Spider-Man 2? I haven't even seen that.
Oh, you haven't seen the new Spider-Man?
No.
No Way Home? Oh,
No Way Home. I didn't see it.
You better get to that before Doctor Strange. You got till May.
But is it still in theaters, or do we have to try to...
theaters? No, it's still in theaters. And then in May it comes out on Blu-ray, 4K, and DVD.
Okay.
But yeah, it's still in theaters because that's what's going to lead into the Doctor Strange. What is it? Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
And so either of you watched they had a Disney Plus show with Scarlet Witch and
the What If
character's name. No, well, not the animated one. This was a live action one. Vision.
WandaVision?
Yeah, WandaVision. If you watch that actually takes part and is related to the content coming in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Okay. I definitely
There's some stuff in there that's related to it directly.
I like Benedict Cumberbatch, although I was not going to watch The Power of the Dog, but I do like Benedict Cumberbatch. And just I guess speaking of roles, we 8:14. I was just checking. So, and it's a terrible segue. Bob Saget.
How much time do I got left?
Bob Saget. Let's talk about Bob Saget, right?
Well, actually, let's bring on our guest, and we can.
Okay, so right. So we can.
Right. So we have with us Camille
Saget.
Bob Saget. We have with us an amazing comedian, Camille Aragon. She's a Filipino spiritual creativity coach, actress, and stand-up comedian based in Los Angeles, California. As a coach, Camille specializes in working with multi-passionate creatives to hone and express their unique gifts and talents. As a creative, Camille recently starred in The Perfect Couple, a short film to be released in this summer of 2022, and performed stand-up comedy throughout California. Prior to pursuing her entrepreneurship and career in entertainment, Camille earned a master's degree in education from Harvard and a BA in psychology from UCLA. All right, so let's bring up Camille Aragon. Hello. Sorry.
Hey. Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yes. How are you doing
I feel
tonight?
like I'm coming in. I'm good. I was just going to say, I feel like I'm coming in on a lighthearted topic.
Oh. There was no segue, and we're all comedians.
But I figured, the Bob Saget thing is an easier topic for me to jump in on than the multiverse of Spider-Man and whatnot. Though I did see No Way Home, and I actually like that.
Yeah, that was good.
Ooh, good. So we're 2 and 2 in here on that one. Good deal.
Eventually, I'm going to see some stuff. They just got to let me out of this basement.
Oh, you're in the basement, Dad. Get out.
No, it's nice. It's warm here. They gave me plenty of water and bread.
He's living the plot of Parasite.
Seriously. Great movie. Oh, that movie's so good. Oh my god.
Only had to wash one car.
Oh, jeez.
So what about Bob Saget?
Yes, Bob
Dana?
Saget.
The cause of death was we finally found out. Stefan.
Yeah, head trauma.
Oh man, I didn't even know he was getting blown at the time.
Jesus Christ. Well, I don't know if that's exactly what it was, sir.
Oh no, I thought she was just really amazing.
Oh,
and he's like,
if he died that way, oh Lord. No, I think what happened, and I could be wrong. Maybe he passed out and hit his head.
Yeah, but I think it says he fell, and I think it's just tough because he was living with scleroderma, which he was making it with that, and
wait, what's
did he
that
have
again?
that? I didn't know that he had the disease. I thought it was his sisters that died from it, and that's why he was so dedicated to the cause.
I read, because the first thing I thought was when I looked it up, and then I saw where I thought that's what I read, that he actually had it, because I know that's what killed, that's what, not killed, I hate that doesn't sound right, but that's Bernie Mac dealt with that as well. And so when I read about Bob's, I was like, okay, I didn't know that he had it too. I'm just I didn't know that
he had it. I thought that he it's like a degenerative disease.
Yeah, it's
like his sister died from it, and his I think I don't know if both his sisters died from it, but I know at least one of them did, and it just sounded like I don't know, terrible.
It's terrible. So I thought he had it. Maybe he didn't have it. Maybe it's just maybe when I started reading the stories. Right.
Huge advocate. Right. For the foundation, I guess, and raised a ton of money for them. But yeah,
I don't know. I must have read. So I read fast, but so I thought that's what. Because when I talked to my sister, she's like, "Well, that wouldn't." People you don't die suddenly from it. Like if you live, unfortunately, for as long as your body. It basically your organs start to harden and shut down.
Yeah.
It can be very painful. Bernie Mac suffered with it, and it eventually took his life. But anyway,
no.
But speaking of comedy, speaking of comedy in general, there's been so much excitement. So I'm sure you've heard, Camille, that T.I., the rapper, is doing comedy. Have you heard?
I just heard. And while I was backstage, I tried to watch a clip on my phone of him doing some comedy on. But yeah, when Steven and I were chatting earlier before we started this, I was like, why wouldn't he just try it in between songs at a musical performance to capitalize on his audience, rather than
a couple of things. If you've ever, I've not been to a hip hop concert lately. That would if there was ever a way to suck the energy out of a hip hop concert, it's to come up and say, I'm going to start doing comedy in between songs. That won't work because you're working with DJ sets. So,
doesn't Busta Rhymes do some funny stuff?
Doesn't
Busta Rhymes do funny shit in between songs sometimes and say funny shit?
As an interlude, but not as a full-on comedy set. Do you know what I'm saying? Everybody does skits.
It has banter, but
but not. What I think is, I don't know. You haven't seen it because what was trippy to me is I feel like the comics in my circle seem to be the last ones to know. And I saw it immediately. When he was doing it for 2 weeks, I saw the news story. Then 2 weeks later, I was at the Comedy Store at Crack 'em Ups, and he comes in with Family and Usher, and does a set, and they're kind of letting him in places. But it hit a fever pitch a week and a half ago because Godfrey, who is one of my favorite comedians, just period, did not say anything about T.I. in particular, but everything was construed as, poo-pooing on T.I.'s efforts. And I think that's just because so many people are kind of shitting on this idea that he's doing, shitting on him doing comedy, which, so the reason we were, because we actually discussed it last episode. Dan, are you aware?
Well, here's the thing I'm asking is, does he use auto-tune during his comedy also?
Oh, Lord.
Hey, have you heard that one? I'm here.
He doesn't auto-tune music.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be different.
Did you see his set, Dana?
Yeah.
Was it good?
It's like any other comedian who comes
starting
to stage.
Out.
The biggest difference is that he already has a gift for being able to captivate audiences and command a stage. So I thought his stories were good. Everything I saw I thought could be better, but that just takes time. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just takes time. There were, I heard, I mean, it's been almost a month since I heard him. So I think I heard like maybe 3 like jokes, but then he had a story that had punches and that did the things that you do. Like if I was the person involved with him, and obviously I'm not because I'm still, new on the path. He just needs to amplify the punches in his stories more, and just tighten up the timing on the jokes that he is putting in there, because it's just like anything. Like when we watch, especially some of our elder statesmen, whether we're talking about any of the comics that have been around, some of them are storytellers, but they know how to punch and tag within the story so that the laughs per minute is up and that we're captivated and laughing at the same time. But all of that, just in my personal opinion, comes with time. So people are going to come out to see him because he's T.I. That's fantastic, and then he'll stay according to the work he puts in to get better. Dan?
Oh, yeah, I do think he has an advantage, right? He has an advantage in the sense that he does have stage presence already, and he has famous comedian friends who can help him with his writing
or not so famous, because the comedians that are helping him I've never heard of. Like, there are a couple of comedians that are helping. Never heard of those cats.
So I believe you're both right, because like one thing that helped me to go on stage right away, because I don't know why, I work with engineers and they say, "Oh, I can't believe you do that," but I used to go up, playing death metal with a band. So you already get used to performing, right? Mm-hmm. And you go up there, and I used to suck at talking in between songs, like horribly.
I know how that goes.
And that's why when I first got in this thing, I sucked at talking in front of a camera and all that kind of crap too. The thing is, though, the only advantage I had was you had been on stage and already done if they don't like it, I'm going to play anyway. You've already gotten to that mentality. And so that's going to help him a lot. The other thing is Camille, I've often thought of what you talked about as a death metal musician. I'm like, should I do like comedy in between and get people to show up for 2 shows at once to see if they actually, I can get some bringers to go somewhere? Oh, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be too much of a like just a shift. But I think everybody should just check it out. But the Godfrey controversy, which was what we were dragging in for this week, because we talked about this, was just interesting because it really highlighted, while Godfrey himself is not of the opinion that T.I. shouldn't be doing comedy, a couple of harsh things came up. One, Godfrey had been a headliner in Atlanta, and typically you don't bring on another comic after the headliner. But T.I. was brought up after Godfrey. And Godfrey felt some kind of way about him being brought up, not necessarily about T.I. because you usually close it, but Godfrey's just like, well, I'm not. He didn't stay to watch him, so apparently people conflated that Godfrey didn't stay to watch T.I.'s set and that he disagreed with someone being brought up after him. And then that turned into T.I. jumping on Instagram Live to respond to what people were calling what did they say? Godfrey slams T.I. for doing comedy, and then T.I. claps back on Instagram. And like, I mean, if you want to take it that way, which so many of the press outlets did because it's sensational, but if you listen, that's not, again, Godfrey had, what I heard was a specific problem with a comedian being brought on after me. And because they took pictures together, and Godfrey's like, I'm a fan, but I think he just disagreed with that. And I obviously I'm not at headlining status. So, but I would say I've been to enough shows that once the headliner goes, we all assume the show is over. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's gotta be, it does feel out of whack if we say, okay, but we're gonna bring up, one more or whatever. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Because that was a bigger part of the issue. Do you think that after a headliner is through, another comic should be brought up?
I feel like it's, how is the show marketed? If people are there to see Godfrey, and
right, that's how it was.
It was the headliner. Yeah, then that would be upsetting, I think, to the person headlining, but also misleading to the audience. and it does, like, I really doubt that would have happened for any other person or even comic. And it sounds like he managed to get past the gatekeeping of what the normal etiquette or hierarchy is because he's a famous rapper,
Right.
you know? And so it almost is like, I mean, it is an anomaly in the sense that, like, he's not in the community in the same way, or didn't go up the ranks of comedy in the same way that a lot of these headliners did. But that's not to say that he's not as much of a recognizable figure that
Right.
would draw an audience or that would hold their attention, because that
Right.
in and of itself is a show, right? Like, if he ate shit, that would be a story to the audience. Like, we saw
Right, we
T.I.
saw
eat
him
shit
kill.
trying to
We
do
saw him.
stand comedy, you know, and that. But you know, I think it is
We saw him bomb. Sorry,
full circumstance, because he is a famous rapper. Like, that doesn't seem like it's something that would happen for any other comedian.
Right, and people, the question was never really answered. But then the other question that was raised was, well, if it was a Chappelle, would you have a problem, or if it was da 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 da? But no one, you know, I don't know that Godfrey was asked that question directly. Like, that's just left for speculation. But it was just interesting, you know, just and what they did though was, so after all of their then they got on Godfrey's podcast. They got T.I. on the phone and they talked everything through, which I thought was very profound and wonderful, because I think we all, hip hop is full of beef and people not speak, you know, all these things, and you see these folks, you know, work it out, you know, just talk it through. You know, and T.I. is like, well, I want to go on the road with you and I want to open for you. You know, I mean, I felt like it was very cool, you know, that T.I., you know, went that way. And Godfrey was just like, you know, that's not what I said. You know, that's not, you know, like, I'm a fan, but I just, you know, and I mean, it was interesting. I don't know, it was just interesting. I think when you get a chance, they're not long clips. You may want to just check out like how, because I feel like we've just never seen anything like that. I mean, it would have been great. I mean, obviously at this point, let me see, who are all the people who had beef? I think Jay-Z and Nas had beef, but they've since reconciled. Big Daddy Kane and LL Cool J, I believe, at one point had beef. Obviously, you know, after you get to be a certain age, but it was. I thought it was very cool to see them like really, really try to talk through this in this, because they're in these public spaces, you know, and none of that is turning back. I was in a conversation with comedian sisters on Saturday. We were in a writing group. And somebody was just like, well, I'm tired of the day that, you know, we have to work these things out in public. And I was like, that day is not going anywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? That is where the world has gone. You know, those of us of a certain age, this is not how we, you know, we didn't have any of this. So we were just looking at Teen Beat, Tiger Beat, and Right On Mac. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't this. Now people get to have public beef in real time over real platforms, you know, and involve all their fan bases, you know. So I thought it was very cool to see them figure that out, you know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
To use the powers of progress for good. So I thought that was powerful, or whatever.
Well, I wonder if he will end up opening for Godfrey at some point, if he's like, hey, that might actually bring even more of an audience.
I was gonna say hopefully, and that's the interesting thing. That's a show I would go see. What were you gonna say, Dan?
Yeah.
Well, T.I., I'll open for you. Holy shit, that's the biggest name I've opened for so far. So what the fuck? I'll open for T.I. Come on, T.I. I'm the demographic.
Oh Lord. Now Calvin did say something earlier that I really liked. I thought was really good. Oh no, where did it go? Oh, okay, it's on timeout for now.
What is it?
But he was saying something along the lines, you know, if Godfrey was to bring him into comedy, well, hopefully there's rappers who will also show the same amount of love and respect and support for comedians. You know, like it's a two-way street type thing. Because that would definitely help out a lot of comedians coming up, or even maybe other big comedians who want to tour with very, you know, really awesome performers.
Well, I mean,
I've only played one place.
well, I mean, but you saw. So you said Talib Kweli opened did stuff on Dave Chappelle. So I mean, it's happening. It just depends on who it is.
Chappelle's on a whole different wavelength, you know.
Right,
So,
but I won't.
I get what you're saying.
But I would also say I won't. I hate that word, devil's advocate. I don't know if I would like, to be honest with you. If we have mid-level comics and rappers, like I don't know if I'm going to see that. Like I'm going to see Chappelle and Talib because I love both of them and I would. But if you say, I can't think of anybody, but that would be interesting. It's not to say it's not where we're going, but that would be interesting. I think we should. I mean, to me, unless you are Dave Chappelle, like I think we should leave, leave that. And I think, you know what? I'm going to think about that because I have to say, when DJ D Nice's Club Quarantine, but you know what? They didn't do sets though. Like DJ D Nice did Club Quarantine live at the Hollywood Bowl, and he had Chris Spencer come out and be one of the hosts. But he was a host. Like he didn't do. Chris Spencer didn't come out and do a set. He didn't come out and try to do like a set in between. He just introduced. He did whatever. So I was just because I was trying to see maybe I would, but that I don't know. That was maybe there'll be. I think under special circumstance. I'll leave it at that. Like I don't. I definitely don't want to monopolize. I just don't know if that's where we're. I don't know if that's where we want to go. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then over the was it a couple days back, we got the release of the new or one of the 4 comedy specials that Chappelle's bringing out. The first one to come out is Earthquakes. What is it? Legendary. And I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yep.
It's a little over 30 minutes, and I think that's plenty of time. I don't think you don't always need an hour. I get the.
I wish it was longer.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I get the flex of an hour, but if you can kill it with 30 minutes with what somebody does in an hour, I still find that impressive as well.
Right, he's impressive, but I was like, I felt like I don't know. I thought where he ended it, I thought he still had a little more material left. Like I felt like I was looking for. Have you seen it, Dan? Have you seen it? Anybody?
I haven't. I was planning on watching it tonight because my boyfriend is out of town and we wanted to watch it together, but. I wonder if he's doing, how like Tiffany Haddish did her They Ready?
They Ready, yeah.
Like how this might be the stepping stone for him to have his own hour special, because it is still under like the Dave Chappelle bringing people into this space. But yeah, I'm excited to watch it. All the feedback I've seen about it so far is like really good.
Oh no, yeah.
It was. Have you seen it, Dan?
I have not. And here's the thing. I want to see it. Mm-hmm. And I have to tell you, it gives me hope because there's another documentary I want to see on the life of Patrice O'Neill that I want someone to fund as well. Mm-hmm. And I think that sometimes you have to make sure somebody's into making sure they're funding that history to make it happen. Like, that's what gives me hope is that it's like, cool. We're going to hear the history of a lot of people because I've heard a lot of history of George Carlin, of course. He's got other people write books for him, and his daughter wrote a book, right?
Right.
And I've heard the history of Greg Giraldo because, of course, the tragic ending, right? But a lot of people wrote about his history after that, and of course, the history of the mental decline of Gallagher. If anyone has watched that, if you've seen him yell at his audience lately, you guys aren't laughing at me anymore. Fuck you! Like that's what Gallagher became after a while.
Wow.
But yeah, so I definitely want to watch it. I haven't watched it yet because it's just, man, it didn't come out this week.
No, yeah, it came out I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. It came out Monday.
Yeah, so I work in software, so Monday through Thursday.
Right.
You're like, I'm not alive, man. I'm dead.
Except tonight, I made sure to get off on a decent time to be here tonight because I got to be with great friends that I started my comedy career with, and Camille, who was at my first Fresh Faces show. What's it called? Comedy Chateau. And I remember you because we were one of the only people that showed up early, as if like we're new or something.
like comedy shows ever start on time.
Like music shows the same shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's late usually.
The cool thing though is if you get there when it was supposed to start, you get to talk to people, and that's kind of neat. So, but then like you do your 2 drinks, and you're like, do I have another $15? I mean, do I? No, but do you? Unless you're Dana. Dana knows the fruit juice trick is $7.
Oh, what's the fruit juice trick?
Well, it's probably up to 8.
Just
Right. I have a great love affair with cranberry and pineapple juice, and so that's what so whatever happens, I always order cranberry and pineapple juice with lime, like because I literally love it. And then I ordered like at Chateau, I ordered that and truffle fries. And they have really very good truffle fries. Like when I'm at Flappers, which is from my home space, I have to get them to like when I order them now, I learned my trick. I was like, and can you tell them to fix them with extra truffle sauce? Because then their truffle fries at Flappers will taste almost as good as the ones at Chateau.
Oh, there you go.
That's good to know.
And get to know the wait staff because it's most of these places it's still a 2 drink, but we try to slide with 2 items.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
keep giving them the same flyer for my metal album. Here, listen. You haven't said how you liked it. Here, have another.
Until you like it, keep taking them.
Right? Listen.
You haven't heard it. Oh, geez. So there was we had some questions. How long? No. What got you into stand-up comedy?
Yes.
Oh. What got me into stand-up comedy? I was taking acting classes. I was doing some acting, and I started taking improv classes. I think it was actually improv classes first. I was taking improv classes, had a lot of fun with that, but it was very like low stakes. It was a community theater based in Long Beach. And then I started taking acting classes, really liked that. And then I started taking more improv classes in LA, but started to really not enjoy that. And I found that the stuff that I was really drawn to when I was watching anything for my own entertainment was stand-up. And I just loved the idea of being in control of the performance and not relying on a scene partner who might have a totally different frame of reference or like worldview that I have. And just like writing your own material, learning your own way of delivery, having your own take on how you want to perform or relate to the audience on any given night. It just felt like the most powerful art form. And I took a stand-up comedy class also in Long Beach, and then just one of the assignments was like, okay, go to an open mic. And I was like, what? Like, what did I think was going to happen out of that class? I don't know. But I did. And I remember making this like 12-year-old in the, it was like a coffee shop mixed mic. And this like little 12-year-old in the audience just like started dying from this period joke I had. And I was like, oh shoot, like he thought it was so funny. I was like, oh my God, I made somebody laugh. But as with many like comedy classes, the one I took had a showcase at the end.
Ooh.
And I remember at that time I was listening to Ali Wong's book, Dear Girls, and she has a part in it where she talks to her. So she's essentially talking to her daughters in the future about her life. And she says to them, don't ever take one of those stand-up comedy classes. If you do, you're like a hack. All of those classes that end in a showcase are just like a fake environment where people who know you are paying to support you. And of course, they're not going to let you embarrass yourself. And I would like listen to that chapter like 2 days before the showcase show. And I was like, oh shit. So I did the showcase show. It felt like it went great. And I had that in my mind still though. So I told myself, okay, if I go to another open mic, I told myself I would just keep going to open mics, but not tell anybody. I wasn't going to tell a single person. I wasn't going to ask anybody to go with me. I was just going to start going to open mics. And if people managed to laugh from that, like if I could make strangers laugh, then I would keep going to another open mic. So yeah, that was how I got into it. And I think it was just an organic experience of like finding it, letting it become something that I found just the most enjoyment in out of anything that I had done. Like I really love doing plays and acting and theater, but there is something about writing your own material and having it be a reflection of who you are in your own journey that is just so personal and empowering that and to be able to make fun of yourself. A lot of my stuff too is starting to be personal in the sense of like I am taking my trauma and writing about that in a way that ends with a punchline. So it's been healing in a lot of ways too. So yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah, thank you.
It is actually where a lot of the dark comedy comes from. Since I found out recently I am a dark comic. I didn't. Did you guys tell me that earlier, or was I not listening? I don't know. But
Stefan mentioned the darkness when we talked about the head.
Darkness.
The head trauma. That's what I know.
But yeah, it in a way it is it's an odd coping with what you see in the world. So for someone like me who hasn't, I think, suffered in the way that many other communities have, it's weird because I take in the empathetic side where you see the suffering outside the world. And then because you can't touch it directly, you end up being able to joke about it. But that's also because you're trying to kind of cope with the fact that there's reality outside that's going out here. I mean, especially right now, where it's like I can't do anything about that, but I get to see it on the internet. That's bugging the shit out of me. What do I do about that? Well, nothing. Okay, let's joke about it then instead, so it stops having the power over us that it has now.
Well, I mean, if you can even give anyone any form of awareness on anything, honestly, even if it's through comedy, through music, through whatever your art form is, I mean, that's still pretty damn good, honestly, in my opinion, because that's you're at least helping move the conversation along, or at least hopefully starting any kind of fire under somebody's ass, or at least adding something to the conversation, because at this point I just said whatever you can do, just do it.
Yeah, I think there's an element too, for me at least, that having lived through really challenging experiences and having my own trauma, like when I go on stage, I have this thought of like, well, the worst has already happened. Like nothing that could happen on stage is going to be worse than what I have lived through already. So if a joke bombs, whatever, like I have my therapist to talk to that week. It's all good.
I mean, do you do your set with your therapist?
I try material on my therapist sometimes.
You say that again?
I said I do try material on my therapist sometimes. Usually it's like the early phases of it. It's like if I make the therapist laugh, I
do that too, but I call her my wife.
Oh, there you go.
Does she let you out of the basement when
yeah, when she lets me out of the basement? Okay, honey, I need another mediocre one, I guess. Get up here. All right, you can go back in the basement after.
Oh man.
So
tell us about this healing with Camille, and what is creative heart alignment?
Yeah, so my website, I started that
Let me put that up.
several years ago when I was teaching mostly yoga. So I started off with this healing work as a yoga teacher. I spent a lot of years developing my own practice and studying what yoga is. And for those who don't know, it's not just what you do on your yoga mat. It's a bigger philosophy, and what you do on your yoga mat is just a small part of it. And so I've been a yoga teacher since 2009. I studied yoga in Costa Rica. It was a really beautiful, challenging, transformative experience to go through that. And like you mentioned in my bio, I also have a degree in education. My concentration was human development and psychology. So I'm really into personal development and how psychology intersects with all the different parts of our life. So that, in combination with a lot of the healing work that I've done and the kind of Eastern philosophies that I've learned about through my own practice, has turned into what I do in my business now, which is spiritual creativity coaching. And so through that work, I help people access their own creativity by getting in tune with their spiritual self. So for me, when I think of creativity, I think of it as something that I'm channeling, something that is not necessarily me and my ego coming up with something because I think it's funny. It's like something that I'm opening up to just by getting out of my ego's way. So that is a process that I lead folks through. There's this example that I have from, so it was the day that there was the shooting in Atlanta, and it was a hate crime targeted towards the Asian community at the spa in Atlanta. That was almost a year ago, I think. And I was booked for a show that night. And I remember thinking, how am I supposed to be funny in this situation, right? Like, it's already such a heavy situation. I can't believe now I have to like be funny in front of people when all I want to do is cry. And it felt especially heavy. And I was just driving. I remember driving to the venue and just like essentially like calling in my ancestors and my spirit guides, being like, just tell me what to say. Tell me what to say. And I heard this like voice come through that was like, oh, say this. And then they gave me this joke. And I was like, oh, that is funny. So I ended up talking about like, oh, it was really hard to be an Asian woman in that moment. The shirt that I happened to be wearing that night said peck peck. And so I told folks,
I know what that is.
I told folks, I was like, if you're wondering what my shirt means, it's in my mother tongue. It means excellence. And no one in the audience is Filipino, so they're like, oh. And I was like, I'm just kidding. It means pussy. But it was like the opening thing.
Wait.
I don't.
Peck peck?
Yeah.
Peck peck means pussy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm using that later. Hello.
And I'm not the type of person that will just kind of riff off on stage. It does usually take a process for me of writing before I actually try stuff out on stage. So that was like such a moment of just trusting that, this is coming from somewhere beyond me.
You know, and actually, maybe I'm not the most spiritual guy, but channeling is something musicians talk about a lot, actually. There's times when you're just jamming on your instrument and you notice about a few minutes in that you sound like a musician that you like, and you usually don't. And then you're pissed because the next day you're like, fuck, where'd it go? Come back. But eventually it does. But I maybe that makes me a little less skeptical, because I could find that of things like that, because like I could see channeling in that kind of perspective as well. And maybe there's this different, like, channel there of like some weird mathematical thing that makes my brain go weird.
I definitely, I think part of any of our journeys is definitely channeling. I think the thing is whether people recognize it and then use the gift, the path with intention. One of the jokes or bits that I do, 1-800 call an ancestor, just even using the word ancestors, because at first, when I first started developing the bit, it was like 1-800 call a historical figure. And I was just kind of like, that's too many syllables. And I did it. I actually did it. Like, I think I was on a Dow show, that Dow comedy show, maybe my first show. And I did it. And then I was literally standing in the kitchen one day and I was like, I need help with this joke. Like, what word do I say? And I had seen something earlier in the week, and then it just was like, ancestors, 1-800 call an ancestor. Because I believe in that literally and figuratively. You know what I'm saying? I ended up writing this bit that, the bit that keeps on giving, but I totally, like, I believe in that. And I tell people that the spirit that is moving us, that's where all the goodies are. Because it's like you said, because this is coming through us. We are vessels for this amazing gift. And we're just trying to, turn and face the right way that it may express. in a in an even greater way, just with whatever little sauce we put on it. But it's truly a gift that is coming through us in that regard. But
Yeah,
it's so
absolutely.
funny. It's
Yeah,
funny.
and I think it's we're more likely to struggle or suffer when we're resisting that natural flow. And
Yep.
when we can open up to it, it feels easy. I was just like, in that moment of the example I shared, I was like, wow, I didn't even know I didn't have to write jokes.
Well, as you know,
But you don't think we're jokes at
We
the
still
time.
do, but
that's powerful. I mean, they don't have hands and feet, so you have to do the walking and the talking. But that's so amazing. I love that.
So the practice, I think, is just continuing how to like let yourself be, like you said, that vessel or that open channel, and just getting out of your own way, letting yourself to continue to show up too in these spaces. Because like I said, if I had listened to what the ego side of me was or the suffering side of me was in that moment and was like, I can't do it tonight, I'm just too sad, then that wouldn't have come through for me, and that lesson wouldn't have like made itself known to me. So yeah, just trusting that if you are feeling called to do something. A lot of people I come across too is like, they tell me, oh yeah, you're so brave or whatever for doing stand-up comedy. I'm like, it doesn't feel brave, it just feels like I'm supposed to do it when I'm invited
It feels
to
like
do
the
it.
call. It feels like the call.
Like I wouldn't actually wish this upon myself to do stand-up comedy, you know? I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy, because it can be like a really challenging environment itself. Like I tell people that the stand-up part is fun, like getting on stage, that's super fun, but like going places alone at night as a woman is not fun for me, and that is like the hurdle to get through. So if I'm willing to put myself in those situations and take the precautions that I need to take, when like I could be happily sitting at home safe and like watching stand up, that might even be like like a safer situation, but I know that I would be bitter and upset by not pursuing that call, or whatever it is that is drawing me to get on stage and do stand up.
The wound pains of the what if.
The wound is where the light enters. I don't know, but I Gabrielle Bernstein said it, but it is not her. She quoted whoever it was, but when Dan was talking earlier about the darkness that some comedians go through and it may drive them to stand up, but the wound is where the light enters. I always think about that. And I don't know if you've seen it, the billboards are out, Camille. Chris Rock is going on a world tour, and the name of his tour is Ego Death. So when you said that's the name, I mean, I haven't, I'm trying to, I was, that wasn't something we set up to talk about, but as soon as you said, I was like, oh my God, because I'm sure there's obviously some special meaning behind that choice of a name, because it's very specific. And if you're in any of the great spiritual communities, whether it's Course in Miracles or any of these things, then we know how big a deal when we start having these conversations about the ego that is. But and also in the last couple of years, like he's sought out therapy. He's found out that he's been very public about coming to being a better self, and discovering that he had I don't recall, like, where he doesn't recognize social cues very well. There's just a lot that he looks now that he's kind of learned what disorders are at work, social disorders are at work for him. Now he understands kind of the demise of his relationships, his marriage, and all these things. So, and so Ego Death. I'm just, I'm wondering.
I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
His LA date is the end of the tour, November 17th.
Ooh.
The tour and the tickets go on. Oh, the tickets are actually on sale for the LA date. They went on sale.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm getting tickets. We gotta go. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm going to see
It's
Joe
interesting
Coy.
that it's called Ego Death, because I was actually just talking to people today about one of his old jokes about ego, where he was talking about, that OJ saw Ron Goldman driving around in the car he bought Nicole. Now, I'm not saying I condone what he did,
Condone what?
But I don't. I understand it.
I'm lost. I'm sorry.
He
I'm lost.
he was talking about OJ, and he goes, "I don't condone what he did, but I understand it." And it's funny because it's totally about ego. He's like, look, he saw this guy, he bought a car, like, because there's speculation. I'm not saying whether he did or not, but I'm saying the joke was OJ had done it, and he goes, it was because he saw his old ladies, as they used to say back then, hey, the old lady, driving in another man's, or in the car he bought her, and another man driving it, and it got such a huge laugh. I was like, holy shit, we were talking about that today. No one remembers this fucking joke. Come on. It's a classic Chris Rock OJ joke. It's fucking awesome. It's from back in the 90s.
It's vague because I watched Bigger and Blacker, like whatever. There were two big ones on HBO, Bigger and Blacker, and
So you just said that. I have to bring it back now, Dana.
I don't know if it was that one. I think it was one before that.
So Bigger and Blacker was good, but what was the one? What year did Bigger and Blacker come out?
Oh, what year? Let's see. It says 1999.
Yeah, okay. I was like, because it's so weird. For whatever reason, I just remember being at church the next day after seeing it, and I went to a church.
You were like confessing. I saw Bigger.
No, it's just that like I went to, like, he wasn't at my church, but there were a lot of, like, the church I went to was a lot of celebrities, and I just remember just kind of talking about it and it being a big deal. That's all. And I met him. Let me see. Was that the year that I met him, or did I meet him in '98? Like, we met him randomly. Like, there was this spot in Hollywood long before any of you all started partying in Hollywood back in the 90s, late 90s, called the Garden of Eden. And it's I don't know what it is now. It's been probably 5 different things. It's literally like if you're headed north down La Brea and then you hit Hollywood, there's this kind of, you see these columns and this like whatever's on the corner. Actually, in Ticketmaster's home offices used to be in that building, but there was a club and it was called Garden of Eden back in the day. And I remember we were just all in there one night. This is when I was working in music, and we looked up and we were like, "That's Chris Rock over there," and we just kind of chatted with him a little bit, not a lot. And his marriage certainly they weren't near divorce, but there's certainly been some problems that were beginning to show up and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, and that was '98. So Bigger and Blacker guys came out, '99.
Did you like Tambourine? Then did you like Tambourine? Did you like Tambourine?
Was that one of the newer ones?
That's one of the newer ones.
The last.
I haven't got to see that along with a bunch of other comedy specials.
Sometimes you gotta play the motherfucking tambourine.
I gotta catch up with what's out there because that's Netflix, right?
It's so good, yeah.
That's the one where he
I haven't
talks
done
about
it for like
putting shards of glass in his kids' vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
there's some dark ones in there, Dan. There's some dark ones in there.
Yeah.
And then he goes on about him confessing cheating and then the divorce and just I guess it could be taken not in many different ways. There's probably maybe like 2 or 3 ways you could take it, but why it's called the tambourine is one of the things that I really liked.
Okay,
because I guess.
I'm
sorry. Go ahead. No,
you go. I don't.
I was just saying that at least the interpretation I got, and I could be wrong. I'm certainly not always right. That's for sure. You learn that when you're married. So yeah, what I take it as is, sometimes you have to take a back seat, right? You just have to kind of take a back seat and just flow, right? So that's what it's like being a father. Sometimes you just got to take a back seat and let the family flow, But
you're reminding me of another one of his old acts.
Oh, which one?
Bring the Pain is the special before.
When you said he was talking about cheating, what was
his
old bit?
I don't remember.
What was his old bit on Tiger Woods?
Oh,
a man is only as faithful as his options. He used to say that as a joke.
Okay. I do remember that.
That's not a joke. Yeah, that's not a joke. That's like
that was real. I remember being in somewhere because Bring the Pain came out in '96. I don't know when I saw it because Bring the Pain. I remember thinking when I saw Bigger and Blacker, which was funny. I remember thinking I liked Bring the Pain better.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna have to watch it again. I know I've seen it, but I don't have to watch it.
Bring the Pain was '96.
Was that HBO, Dana?
Mm-hmm. They're
Okay,
both.
then it's got to be on HBO Max. Then I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
Oh, thank you for that great reminder. I forget that we got the
Oh yeah,
archives.
all that comedy stuff is on HBO
Mhm.
Max. That's like Aquafina. I love the Aquafina show. Sorry, that was just a side thing.
She's got a show.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Nora from Queens.
Yeah,
That was on Comedy
awesome.
Central, though, right?
Yeah.
Is it on
Oh
HBO
yeah.
Max now?
I believe so. And yeah. No, it is. That's how I saw it. But I love the whole show. The grandma is just fucking fantastic. But she has a whole episode where some guy takes samples and makes music and shit.
Mhm.
You might know which episode I'm talking about if you've seen it. But I know, Dan, you haven't seen it, and bro, you would love it.
I will check it out. She
Yeah,
was
no, it's
she
really good.
had a Google headline not the other day, maybe a week or two ago. And I meant to read it because she was accused of having a black scent, and she does.
For the way she talks or whatever.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And it's not. I mean, I'm at a point where I'm like, I saw a comedian the other night, and I was like, it was tough. Like another good African American comedian was in the main room, but that particular comedian has an affinity for the N-word. Then in the Yoo-Hoo room where I was working, the comedian on stage is doing the black scent, so I wanted to read the piece because I'm a fan of Aquafina. I like her, so I want to check it out. But I feel like, again, just because of the amount of birthdays I had, that it's prevalent, and I think hip hop music is not. I don't blame hip hop, but I feel like there's a permission in the heads of people, or this taking this on, and I don't know that everyone realizes that that's what they sound like, or maybe they do and they're just doing it anyway. But when I saw her, I want to say in Crazy Rich Asians, I was like, oh, okay.
Great movie.
Very good one, definitely a good one. But when I saw her character, I was like, oh, okay. Where this is going.
Well, I think she's
very
from
funny.
Queens? Isn't she
from Queens? She's from she's from New York.
Yeah, hip hop culture there is like,
and she was a rapper before she was.
Okay, and that's why I was saying that's why I don't get. Again, and now I'm learning even more of the story. I don't get too wrinkled about it because I feel like the entryway for most people who are doing it, it has a way more to do with hip hop music than to me. I get why it's called a black scent, but it has way more to do with hip hop music than anything. Some people find it a problem. Some people don't. I just have to breathe the air above it, but. When I saw the headlines, I was like, let me read that. I haven't read it.
Staten Island, right?
Yep.
So I mean, that's all that beautiful.
Wait, they've taken the whole island?
Yes.
Oh, I knew that Wu-Tang Clan was nothing to fuck with.
That's right. That's right. Dollar bills, y'all. Okay. I played that. Well, okay. I probably shouldn't say that I played that for my father. She's like, "What Queen, Daddy?" I said, "Dollar bills, y'all." And that was one of the things that she said after all. She's all, "Dollar bills, y'all." And then at the time, my wife was like, "No."
That's like watching the Joker and thinking he's a hero. No. There's a dark side to that song, Cream. There's a dark side to Cream, like the band with Eric Clapton, because apparently he's a huge racist, and I found out this year. It's messed up. So I got a joke about that coming up. Yeah.
It's like, what?
Eric Clapton, he's always been a huge racist, and he's a big Brexit supporter right now. He's like, we don't want to marry up poor goddamn British land. It's like, shut the hell up. He doesn't sound that way. That's one of the only ones I can do.
Wow. He did a big song with Babyface, though, so I'm surprised to hear that. So, wow.
Roman Polanski still gets awards. I'm just saying.
True.
I'm just saying.
Well, thank you. What I didn't know for sure is that Aquafina was a hip hop artist at one point.
Yeah, I have listened to a few interviews that she's done, and like her dad wanted her to be so I don't know, it was like it's something to the effect of like an actuarial or something very like boring and dry, because obviously like
actuary science, math. I was a math major, so yeah. I looked at it too. So yeah.
He was like pushing her to do that. She went to an art school, played the trombone in
Nice.
throughout school, and then she had this like song that went viral on YouTube. I forgot what it's called, but I think it was the one about her badge. She like sings about she raps about her badge.
Oh yeah. No, yeah,
Yeah.
there's some fun stuff even in the showdown. They do like a sampling of her queef or something. It's fucking
Yeah.
I have to
Dude,
tell
like,
you that
what?
was one of the weirdest things to ever meet on tour. Was someone says I can queef on wheel. It's like, oh, and I don't know why. Do I want to be in the room? Can we record? You know,
she's
I want to
got,
show
like,
my
really-
wife later. Listen to this. This is horrible.
She's got a few things. She's got NYC Bitches
Oh.
as a song. And she's got My Vag, but I'm wondering, is My Vag like something?
That's so dope. That's dope, man. That's fucking dope. That makes me love her even more. That's so fucking dope. Oh
Yeah,
my
like
God. No, I'm proud, man, because you know, it's hard out there, man. You know, I can't. I'm happy that Crazy Rich Asians and Shang-Chi, probably butchering that, did so well, right? It shows that Asians can make some make some money in Hollywood, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, Shang-Chi did do well. Yeah.
Even in the last Spider-Man movie, there was a whole scene where the grandmother is speaking Tagalog, and there's no subtitles, and so every Filipino person I know was like, "Did you see that scene?"
Oh yeah, they were laughing. I had some in the
she's
theater
talking about like get rid of the cobwebs in the corners.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So that was pretty dope.
Yeah, there was some really that. Yeah. Oh man, I remember that part because we had people in the theater too that were that understood that were laughing.
It's very exciting for us to hear.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You see them laugh, and then you see people like me go, "Hey, what's this?"
It means excellent.
Oh,
That's right, Dan. Okay, Peck is excellence.
You know
funny.
what? Hey! Actually, with what it really means, yes, it is.
It is.
But I guess for me, I'd want to know. I'd want the subtitles because I'd want to I always want to learn what folks are saying. But I mean, it's definitely still a very big moment. But I'm like, I would have wanted the subtitles to be to be further.
Oh yeah.
Part of
Are you saying it wasn't inclusive?
I'm saying that I would have wanted subtitles to be a part of the moment.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I did wonder, like, if you saw it and you saw that scene, did you have an idea of what she was saying?
Like, and I haven't seen it, so I have no idea.
Oh,
I think I might have, and here's the reason why. Just because when I was in high school, I dated a girl with a Filipino mother that used to speak it around us, and I would pick out words that were close to Spanish, but not exactly. And I'd go, "She's talking shit. Does she know we fucking?"
There are a lot of Spanish words in the Tagalog language, just because we were colonized by Spain. But
sorry,
yeah,
Dan is a Spaniard. You bastard.
Hey, but unlike my ancestors, I made my children consensually.
Okay, there you go. Very good, sir. On that note, though, I do want to say really quick, when I saw Joe Coy, I think it was almost 2 years ago at the Forum, I'm not even gonna lie, I had some tears at a certain point because that's like the biggest venue I've ever seen it, like someone that I could, that I could relate to, that I look like maybe a little bit. Okay, I'm not bald. But like oh wow, there's an Asian on a really big fucking stage and there's like 100,000 people. Wow. Because when any of us, growing up, it was always a specific. There wasn't really no Asian. There wasn't that early too. There was no black people really. There was no Latino people. Dan, damn it! No, I'm just
well, no, I mean, a long time ago, the only Asian roles were being taken by Mickey Rooney, and that was wrong.
Oh yeah,
fucking wrong.
What was that? Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Yeah.
Oh, keep it down there. It's like,
yeah, I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it. You can do it. I got a show coming up. I don't want people to leave. You can do it.
Yeah. No, but I remember that, and then I'd look at my Japanese grandpa laugh. I'm like, you think that's fucking funny? He's like,
Wow.
yeah, because they look so fucking stupid.
Well, wait, maybe it's akin to us white guys that can, watch someone go, do the stereotypical white guy voice, and we go, yeah, like we hear it, like, hey guys, how you doing in here? It's like, yeah, I know that guy.
Well, that was like junior high, bro, when people like couldn't really tell what I was, and they were just like, totally, bro. Yeah. And I'm just like, who the fuck talks like that, dude? Like,
Bro, Frostnaughty, come on down. Back down to the beach, go down, do a twist 10.
But here's the thing, Stephen, I always feel like, because I would have not, I've known you were, something, but I would have known what, like.
Oh, my mix. Oh, no, I've had people like growing up throughout school just come up to me and speak different languages, assuming I spoke their language. They're just trying to find out, just in case.
What's going on?
That was fun.
Yeah,
oh, boy.
most people speak
like,
in
what's
Spanish.
another vocalish? No, he's not, guys. He's not.
What were you saying, Camille?
Oh, I was just saying that most people speak to me in Spanish. They just assume.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get
kind of
that.
speaking from a Spanish-speaking country, but
What is
yeah,
it, no
it kind of
habla español?
depends. Yeah, like I do a little bit on Duolingo.
I know the
I think
basics.
as a nerd, hearing your name Aragon, I was going to try to speak to you in Dragon,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
but I can't.
I get that.
What is this, Game
And
of
then there's
Thrones?
like another level of nerd that it's like, oh, is that element on the periodic table? It's Argon. That's Argon.
Yeah, that's Argon, and I also Aragon spelled with an E also, so it's not totally right, huh?
Well, okay, so there's Aragon the Dragon movie, right? That's
Yeah.
spelled with an E. And then there's Argon, the gas that's an element on the periodic table. And then in Lord of the Rings, it's Aragorn with an extra R. So none of them are exactly my last name, but I get those.
You got that, Dan? You got it? I was joking.
I said, speaking nerd, that's what I was doing. It was, she knows. She's obviously had nerds speak to her.
Do you like Harry Potter? Harry Potter is fantastic. Yes.
Can I hold your books?
Can I hold your books? Jesus Christ. Oh, Lord. So
only in front of you, Steph, I do that voice.
Okay. Thank you. Do you have any shows coming up that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I have a show coming up. I'll promote the one at Flappers on the 15th. It's Too Hot Tuesdays, I think that's what it's called.
Oh,
it's
nice.
7:30 on March 15th at Flappers in Burbank.
Yay! Very nice. Very nice.
Awesome.
And then you have a correct me if I'm wrong, podcast too, right?
No, it's sleeping.
Okay.
Wait, a podcast about sleeping? Like it's just you?
No, it's exactly.
What is it? ASMR?
No, it's called. So I did have a podcast. There's still episodes up if folks want to listen to it because the conversations are pretty great. But it's called the Healing Oasis Podcast, and the conversation center around healing and creativity. I had a lot of different, really wonderful guests on there. Folks who are artists, yoga teachers, comedians.
Nice.
Even a friend of mine who is a assistant basketball coach for an NBA team. So he talked about, what it means to like be creative in that sense too.
Very nice.
So, it was a nice project while it lasted. And I'm not, it might come back eventually, but for now there's different areas that I'm focusing on.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And then we have a thing down here with your healingwithcamille.com/claim. Can you tell the audience about that?
For sure. This is, you can go here, and if you want to get a recording to a meditation about energy centers and learning how to channel that creative energy we talked about, you can go there. And there's also another gift in there if you're interested in doing some one-on-one exploration with me about how to do the healing work and the creative work. I'm offering a complimentary consultation, so you can go ahead and just use that link to claim those gifts.
Nice. Yay.
Yeah.
There you go. I posted it in the chat too.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem. Does anybody else have any shows or anything they want to promote?
Excited to be at the Timley Art Center on Saturday. The show is called Trying Our Best. I just love that title. It's a $5 show. Timley is like East Hollywood. On Sunday, I have a big show, Mad Laughter, and I'm on with all of our friends, Willie Mack, Lynn's son, Melissa Garver, who invited me to be on the show.
Wow.
Nicole Denise is on the show. Karen, oh my God, why is Brisk Kitty? Why is her name? Oh my God, she and Melissa are producing it. It's at the Good Night, and so I'm excited about that. It's at the Good Night on Sunday, and then that was at the Timley Art, and I actually have a show on the 15th too at El Cid, the restaurant.
Very nice.
So those are the three that I have coming up that I'm pushing hard for. But excited about the Mad Laughter show. I think. I'm not sure. Let me see. I was on a show with Willie Mack back in like September, but none of the tickets sold. So the show, like Flappers, it was at the heart of the pandemic and numbers. So we ended up not doing the show. So I think this will be my first time like in LA because we did some stuff together while we were in Utah for the festival. But it'll be cool to be on. And now that he's got the HGTV show, so just a big back on the broadcast.
Oh yeah, big congrats, man.
Because when we were talking at Christmas, things were looking. It was so funny. Things were looking a little bit bleak, but I was just like, because he was telling me like the whole story, and I said, but you know it's happening, right? Like you, like all of, even this as we speak right now, everything is working out, and then and now we're here, so it's exciting. And so I've been on. I was on a Zoom show with him, a Jimmy Shin show, but that's it. I think I've only been on Zoom shows with Willie or whatever, but. This will be our first like LA build together. So excited
we'll have to get him back
on that whole crew. It's a big, Lynn and Melissa and Nicole and all the folks. A couple folks I'll get to know, but I'm excited.
We'll have to get Willie back on the show so we can talk about his show.
I've been on a show with him and I had to go after him and Sally Mullins. That was tough.
Oh, dang. You said you had
him and then Sally Mullins and then Dan Ochoa. Oh, tweet.
Hey, but I'll tell you what, that'll prepare you, man. I was watching the Gary Owens podcast this morning, and he had Tommy Davidson, one of my comedy heroes, man, in Living Color, dude. Oh, I fucking love that show. Anyway, he had Tommy. I do. With all my heart. And he said on there like Mitzi Shore at the Comedy Store. When I heard this, I was like, I can't turn this off. Fuck music. I'm gonna be in the gym. I'm just gonna pump iron, listen to this. That's all I need. This is motivation enough to pump iron. And he was giving his what Mitzi Shore used to do to him at the Comedy Store because he moved out here, drove out here. I forget what kind of car he had, but he had his little putt. He had a car though, and his stuff in a bag. And to get to the point, he was saying that when he came here, he hit the ground running, and he was doing so good that Mitzi put him. I think it was from the belly room to the big stage. Unless that is the big stage. I forget the names. They got all those names. But he didn't know what, like, it became a surprise for him. It was random, the show she was throwing him on. And she threw him on a show in the middle, 2 shows in the middle of Richard Pryor and Eddie fucking Murphy.
Wow. I knew you were going to say, I knew Richard Pryor had to be one. I knew Richard had to be one.
And he wasn't here that long, only but several months.
Wow.
And he said that because of what she had done to him by doing that, it made him a better comedian. And I've heard something similar too with Bernie Mac, where Bernie Mac would do that to people too. He's like, you're going on after so-and-so. What?
Who talked about that? I want to say Godfrey talked about that on his podcast.
Okay, maybe
Godfrey talked about that one.
Yeah.
When you said, I was like, because he talked about that just being thrown up after
somebody who fucking murdered,
right?
That's brutal, but he's trying to teach them something. I forget who else. I don't know if it was Martin or somebody else too had a similar story where they were just like, "Oh, you ready or not? Here you go." What? Excuse me? who am I following? But yeah, that Tommy Davidson thing today, man, this morning, just like really like inspired me, and just really, I was like, wow, to come like out here, he literally had nothing. Even though he did what he did in DC, to come out here and, there was no internet, right? There's no internet.
Right.
we're so spoiled today with the shit that we have to even make a name for ourselves or just to put it out there.
Hi, people.
But they didn't have that shit back then, right? So, you know, he had to come from DC, killing it in DC, and then come out here, and people are like, who?
And basically start over.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, if you guys get a chance, definitely check out the Tommy Davidson thing on Gary Owens that he did this morning. That shit is.
I will look it up.
Oh yeah. Dan, shows.
Well, I'm playing my first sold-out show this Saturday, produced by Lynn's son. It's the Adorables, the dark comedy show. So it's already sold out. Sorry, no fucking tickets. See me next time. Follow me on Dan Ochoa 79 at Instagram if you want to see the next cover. Or the flyer. The flyer. Sorry about that. It got hard in this for a minute.
It got hard. Oh my gosh. That's good. Hey. And that's at the Comedy Chateau, March 5th.
Yeah, it's you know what's great? Here's the thing is I've done shows for Dana. I love doing the shows that Dana has produced where I get to do that and everything. Right. The thing about this that was pretty neat to me is that Lynn asked me, do you want to do a dark comedy show? And it felt like I'm from the 90s, so forgive the term, but a little girl going, oh, you really like me. Because that's what I want to be known for is the dark comedy. Because I didn't know that until I had a talk with her, because she's seen me live, I think, more than most people have. And I go, you really want me for the dark comedy show? This is like 60% of what you do is that. Can you put another 40? I'm like, oh, yeah, I could do that. And so it's the reason why I'm excited is I think this will be one where the audience knows the niche they're coming to right away, instead of having those few people in the audience that go, oh my God, where's the comment card? Give me the comment card.
Oh no.
I thought this was going to be Jay Leno shit. I like you, Jay Leno, and I like you. I'm not saying that bad, but
he's a beast up there too.
But he's watching.
Hey man.
No, I do like him. Actually, I like his newer stuff a lot better than stuff I grew up with. So that's kind of interesting. But it's like some people come in thinking they're going to see Tonight Show or kind of stuff, and it's like, no, I don't do that. Sorry.
No, I can relate, man. I did a summer flappers thing, and I had a weed joke about my daughter eating the chocolate crumbs, and there's some moms there that were pretty fucking angry at me. It fucked me up, man, because one was eyeballing me. I thought she was gonna fuck me up after the show.
You should have offered them some crumbs.
Yeah, they might. Yeah.
Hey, you need some of these crumbs. You won't be so mad anymore in like an hour or like maybe 2 hours. I don't know. When did you last eat?
Oh man, but yes, we will be back again Thursday after next. We really appreciate everybody coming and joining us, and we have it down below for those at the Camille Aragon on IG, TikTok, and Facebook, and we also have right there down below www.healingwithcamille.com. Was that a backslash?
Yep, I think so.
Claim.
Is it forward slash? I don't know.
Forward slash.
Forward slash.
Forward.
Yeah.
Forward. Not back. Don't go back. We're going forward.
Well, in Arabic, it's a backslash.
Okay.
Sure.
It's freaking true. I know this.
But we did put it in the
chat.
Well,
this one happens to be in English.
It's an English, Dan.
I don't know. That's a universal character, just used differently.
Okay. But anywho, we will be back the following Thursday. Not this coming up Thursday, but the Thursday after. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will see everybody next time. Thank you. Have a beautiful night.
Thank you.
17.